Welcome to the Literary License Podcast retrospective as we explore anthologies. Anthologies have been around since the 1800s with classics by Poe, Hawthorne, Stevenson, and Lovecraft to name a few. Motion pictures have been exploring anthologies since the 1930s until today, with even television using the format. Come with us as we celebrate the anthology films through the ages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Literary License Podcast, and it is Anthology Week. I am your host for the Anthology series, Joe Randazzo, and joining me today are Vicky Ray.
Hey, everybody.
And Keith Chago.
Hello.
So before we get started on the movies, what's everyone been up to since the last time we were here? Uh-oh.
I have not been up to a whole lot since the last time I've been here, but I'm just looking patiently forward to Keith moving to the great state of Texas so that I can call immigration as soon as he gets into the Dallas Fort Worth airport.
Well, since last time I spoke to you three, I've opened a can of Coke and I went outside and had a cigarette. So. That's what I've been up to since last time I spoke to you guys. And Vicky made a cup of coffee.
I did. I made a cup of coffee.
I went to pee in between podcasts, so in case you guys aren't in on the joke, we're recording these back to back.
Because Joe had to go traveling and fuck our schedule up last week. That's why.
Look, I would have been ready to go if I actually had a voice and wasn't hacking up a lung. And you can hear there's a cough drop in my mouth because it's still lingering.
Oh, hey, you're not going to get an argument from me. I was sick as shit last week. I was sick when I did the podcast with you guys the week before. It's got staying power. This one does. I'm still sick.
Well, another reason is that all my accounts are going from UK to US, so that created a bit of a problem with the Zoom and with emails and everything like that as well. But now that's sorted now, so that's another reason. So basically, I was setting up the meeting like a couple days before and like posting it onto people's Facebook messages. Here you go. Here's the invite. So yeah. So
yeah, it's been a rough week.
It's been the last 2 weeks. I don't know, man. This lung buster, whatever it is, it's got staying power. I've been coughing up a lung for 2 weeks. I finally feel almost human today. It's just like fuck. It just won't go. It's just the gift that keeps on giving. It will not go away. It's like
same here. I've had a lingering cough for weeks now.
But the funny thing about it is every time I smoke a cigarette, it feels better. Don't ask me why. It's like, I got to clear my lungs.
Work that way.
Cigarette.
Well, smoking is what we found out 3 years ago, that if you're a smoker, it keeps the COVID away.
Yeah.
It does actually.
Does
it? Yeah, it kills the.
Everybody start smoking heavily.
It kills something. It kills something in the COVID virus, which is kind of weird. So people who are smokers, people who are like heavy smokers didn't get COVID. People who
they just die of lung cancer.
Healthy people were getting COVID, so it's just kind of weird.
They're just dying of lung cancer.
Yeah. COVID cancer. Gee, I can't decide. What should it be?
Well, if one don't get you, the other one will.
That's for sure. No doubt. You don't even have to smoke to get cancer these days.
Like when you die, if God don't get you, the devil must.
Yeah.
So I guess as nobody's done anything since the last time we were on, we'll just get right into the movies.
Let's just get to it.
All right. So we're going to start with Sin City. Sin City, also known as Frank Miller's Sin City, is a 2005 American neo-noir crime anthology film directed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller and Quentin Tarantino, who isn't listed here for some reason because I think he only directs like one sequence.
Yes.
Based on Miller's comic book series of the same name. The film stars an ensemble cast led by Jessica Alba, Benicio del Toro, Brittany Murphy, Clive Owen, Mickey Rourke, Bruce Willis, excuse me, and Elijah Wood. And featuring Powers Booth, Michael Clark Duncan, Rosario Dawson, Carla Gugino, Rutger Hauer, Jamie King, Michael Madsen, Nick Stahl. Much of the film is based on the first, third, and fourth books in Miller's original comic series. The Hard Goodbye is about an ex-convict who embarks on a rampage in search of his one-time sweetheart's killer. The Big Fat Kill follows a private investigator who gets caught in a street war between a group of prostitutes and a group of mercenaries, the police and the mob. That Yellow Bastard focuses on an aging police officer who protects a young woman from a grotesquely disfigured serial killer. And the intro and outro of the film are based on the short story The Customer is Always Right, which is collected in Booze, Broads, and Bullets, the sixth book in the comic series. Sin City opened to wide critical and commercial success, gathering particular recognition for the film's unique color processing, which rendered most of the film in black and white while retaining or adding color for selected objects. The film was screened at the 2005 Cannes Film Festival in competition and won the technical grand prize for the film's visual shaping. A sequel, also directed by Miller and Rodriguez, was released in 2014, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, but failed to match the critical and commercial success of its predecessor. So we're going to cut to the trailer of Sin City and be right back.
Goldie's dead. I've been framed for murder, and the cops are in on it.
Open up, police.
I'll be right out.
Looking for Nancy Callahan?
Eyes to the stage, Pilgrim. She's just warming up.
Made a terrible mistake. We need to get out of here right this second. This clown's out of control. I followed him here to make sure he didn't hurt any of the girls.
Us helpless little girls.
It's time to prove to your friends that you're worth a damn. Sometimes that means dying. Sometimes it means killing a whole lot of people. Walk down the right back alley in Sin City, and you can find anything.
And welcome back to the Literary License Podcast. We're discussing Sin City, and Vicky, let's start with you on your thoughts on Sin City.
I fucking love this movie. I have always loved this movie. There's just something so raw about it. And it's kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, kind of. Not even, it's like, but it's kind of like the noir kind of part of it. I just found it fascinating how they filmed this. I like how the cars appear, how they're in them. And, it's like animation with, I don't know how you guys are big on knowing how film is put together.
It's all blue screened.
It is. I just
There
love the look of it.
no sets in the whole movie at all.
I love the look of it completely, and I love that I love the misogyny of it, if I may. It was just, I just thought it was a great flick. I get a kick out of it. I mean, Mickey Rourke, he's never really been one of my favorite actors, but I love Barfly. For some reason, when I just love that movie Mickey Rourke was in. but he's just really good in this. And I love how Bruce Willis starts it out, because I forgot, how it ends, because I don't want to give it away. A lot of people probably haven't seen it, but it was just, it has reminded me of 300. They filmed that in the same kind of, you know what I mean, with King Leonidas and all that. But it's that kind of, it's kind of, the movie is totally over dramatic, because I mean, just like when he's kissing his warrior prostitute, they're practically eating each other. I mean, everything in this film is over dramatized. I mean, everything goes over 100% in each scene. Everything is magnified. It's already dramatic, but it is more dramatic. No matter what, it will get more dramatic. And I just thought it was a brilliant film. I like the look of it. I love the characters. There's just nothing about this film. And I my favorite part is what's his name? He's the cannibal. Kevin the Cannibal. Is that what I want to say? I just love Kevin the Cannibal. Where the dog starts eating his legs after he's been dismembered. It's just like, what the fuck? It's just sick and dark, and he's twisted. I don't know who wouldn't like this film. I don't know why you wouldn't like it. You might have a different opinion. I love this shit though. This was great.
I like the film. I think there's a lot of style within it, and I like the film noir nod it gives to everything.
Oh, it does. Big dog.
But there's a couple things that I like. All the stories, and I like the way it is. I kind of wish there's a little bit more of a connection, really. There's some stories that kind of felt like they didn't connect with the other stories. They're great, but they're like the Bruce Willis
just the city that they're connected in, and they all were in that bar where Jessica Alba's dancing. And you know what? I'm not gay, but holy shit, Jessica fucking Alba dancing in that cowboy outfit. Like, that is just like merciless.
Who basically must have like a no tick clause, because she's the only stripper who's totally dressed.
Yeah, but she's so cute. She's absolutely cute in this. I mean, she is.
But I found the only thing I kind of wish I had more of is the Josh Hartnett beginning one, because he kind of is in the beginning and then he comes in at the end, and I kind of wish there was a bit more of a story for him than this, like the opening and the closing.
Yeah, like maybe weave him in and out a little bit more. Yeah, instead of just putting him in just
like how they kill him off. Well, he isn't dead, is he? They bring it back.
No, he's a hitman. No, Josh Hartnett's in the very first segment, the prologue.
Oh, him. That was what I was going to ask you about. I never truly understand that segment. Did she pay him because he's going to cash her check to kill her? I mean, he's going to cash her check.
I mean, he's a hitman. He's hired by someone, so he kills her. I'm not quite sure.
That confuses me every time I see that one. See, I cannot figure out. But then comes in at the very end, and
he comes at the very end because he gets his romance. I
forgot about that.
But
I couldn't figure out.
Chipped in to pay to.
But she doesn't want to do it alone. It's just the way they worded it. And then he kills her after he kisses her, and you think that he's in love with her, but he kills her and holds her till her blood just.
Yeah, I just thought that he's just romancing her before he kills her, because he's that kind of a hitman.
Yeah, I guess.
Because at the end, he kind of has a come on to the girl, and then the elevator doors close. Like he flirts with her a little bit. So I'm kind of wondering if that's a situation. I mean, Nick Stahl. I mean, that was interesting casting, because he's one of these people that was supposed to be going to great things. He's on the yellow-headed guy.
Right.
And he's supposed to have gone on to great things, but he never really went on to anything.
He didn't do a whole lot, did he? Really?
He did a Terminator 3 film situation.
Right.
But he's one of these things, like he was promised to like this great career, and he's going to be this great actor, this up and coming, but he never quite did that. But I think everyone's brilliant in the film. Bruce Willis probably gives one of his best performances.
Yeah.
Though I don't understand. What I don't understand is how he lived after because
That's what I was trying to figure out. Did they keep him
one
alive
story and
just
his
so they
part
could
two
fuck
story is
with
like,
him?
how did he survive situation?
I mean, he's old. He's got a bad ticker, and they shoot him how many times in the back and the front? And I mean, they've shot him every part of his body, but he's hooked up to 20 different IVs. You know, when you see
Well, I
him
kind of
again.
wonder if that's like the comic book thing, though. You know, like you
Yeah.
never really kill someone off in a comic book, do you? I mean,
No, I guess you don't.
you can kill them off, and then two issues later they're back or something. So I'm kind of wondering if it's like that. But it is a dark film, and I do I like the film noir, and I like the dialogue. I think the dialogue's brilliant.
Dialogue is awesome. It just is. Especially when they get to Old Town. Those hookers just crack me up with them. The hookers are running the town, and they're trying to keep the police and the gangsters out because of I mean, it was just, I don't know. It's just such a cool movie. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't like it. I guess a lot of people probably wouldn't like it because dames, broads. I mean, it's not really politically correct for this kind of way people's taste have seasoned over the years. I
But the
guess.
thing is, the women are empowered women.
Oh, they're badass, all of them.
They're very empowered women. I mean, the thing is, they make their money because it's their choice. They're not forced into it. It's their choice to do what they're doing. So it's not like, there's some pimp. There's no pimp running them.
Yeah, exactly. Especially Rosario Dawson. She comes off just amazing in this.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I can't think of anybody that I know that's seen it that dislikes it. I've heard the second one's terrible, and I've never seen it.
I didn't get through it all. I watched it for 40 minutes, and I was disappointed, and I never finished it. I probably should just finish it for friends. So.
I mean, you might as well. Once you've started it, you might as well just finish it, even if it takes.
I sat through about half hour of it. I couldn't do it.
See, it just
it
doesn't. Once you're just spoiled to the first one, you want Bruce Willis. You don't want this rubbish, So
well, it's a bit like watching Speed 2.
Yes, great analogy. There you go. That's true.
And what I don't understand is the same people. I mean, Speed 2 is a bit different because let's face it. I mean, Keanu.
I didn't hate it.
Keanu left, and the
but I like the first one better.
Had a different director. I mean, and the only thing that returned. I mean, the only person that returned was Sandra Bullock. Sin City 2 has all the same people coming back, so it doesn't make a lot of sense, and a bigger. I think the same budget, so it doesn't make quite sense. But it's something. It just something doesn't connect whatsoever. It just seems leggy. It just seems a leg, and this is. But the first one, I think, is a good complete movie. But I think it captures that the comic book style fantastically well. The only thing is, when I was watching this, I would love to see a Batman filmed in this style.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Oh my God, why hasn't nobody done that yet? Why has nobody done that? It would be brilliant if somebody did that right.
I think using this kind of style, it'd be nice to see another movie done in this kind of style that would fit this kind of style as well.
Yeah.
I
like 300, but they made another 300, and I didn't like that second one either.
No.
I didn't like 300.
I love 300.
I didn't like 300. I'm not very good with sword and sandal movies, so.
Yeah, I loved it. So. I mean, I don't watch it every chance I get, but I mean, I don't turn it off when it's on. Then again, it's all those abs, It's just like everybody's just all muscled up.
Gerald Butler, who's gone from A-list to like B to C movies now. So
yeah,
they do have their moments. But no,
he's in like really questionable like quality stuff now. He's gone.
Who's that, Joe?
Actually,
Gerard Butler.
Who?
No, Gerard Butler, who's in 300.
Gerard Butler, I don't know what he's doing
He's
now.
Gone to like straight to streaming movies. They're like action movies, like on Prime and Netflix.
When he did Greenland, I thought, oh, this could be a great end of the world apocalyptic. Yeah, it's the same shit, different movie. So yeah, I loved him in his old, like one of the first movies he made was Reign of Fire with Christian Bale. And
Oh
that
yeah,
was
with the
like
dragons.
that. I freaking loved him in that. And that's when they were raw, hardcore. I don't know what they've done to these guys. They got all freaking
Oh,
fat and sassy in Hollywood, I guess. I don't know.
he was very good in Joel Shoemaker's Phantom of the Opera as the Phantom. Very good in that as well.
I've never
Surprised.
seen that version.
It's excellent. It's very good, and Emily Rodsum's in it as well. And they're all doing their own singing and stuff. So the only one not is Minnie Driver. She's miming, but everyone else is doing their own thing.
I love
so.
Phantom of the Opera. We saw it in the Queen's Her Majesty's Royal Theatre.
Have you seen the movie version of it? The movie and the musical. Excellent.
Oh, we saw the music. I saw both. But the first time I actually saw the theater version was in London. It was just so amazing.
What year did you see it?
I want to say 2009, I want to think.
After EU came in. Okay. Because before EU came in with the health and safety practices, the chandelier falls really fast. Now it kind of goes,
really?
Now it goes a bit slow because of
I was really amazed at how they got the boat scene, and I don't know how that was freaking brilliant how they did that. I was like mesmerized. I go, this is freaking cool. I mean, they did a fantastic job with it.
It's one of those shows that got better once Sarah Brightman left. So
I mean, I was like, wow, this is just, I didn't know how they did it. It was just amazing, all the stuff they did to make it. It was wonderful with great production.
Another thing I have to sit there and say about Sin City, though, this is Mickey Rourke's comeback. And it's very clever what they did with his messed up face.
Yeah, that
was a very clever move for him to have this be his comeback.
Okay, and that's okay. So we got Mickey Rourke with Goldie. He's upset because Goldie's dead. I always have a problem drawing the line of who is the other? Is that Goldie's friend, daughter?
Think of it as a soap opera, twin sister.
Twin sister. So okay,
Goldie, like in a soap opera when they kill off the main character, and all of a sudden like this twin comes in.
Okay, so they're gonna electrocute him. So she gives him a right good one before he dies. Is that what happened?
Well, I think he's unkillable. I think.
I think they killed him in this, though. I think they finally.
They did, but they had to like turn the juice on a couple times.
Yeah, they had to hit him again. Yeah.
Yeah, because he falls out of a building and like runs off after.
Right, I know. I was like trying to figure out, is he a man in this, or is he more than a man in this? Because they don't really tell you if he's superhuman, so it's all film.
I think it's that whole comic book. It's a film noir comic book.
Right.
Film is so I think because it's film noir, you get the film noir talking and the way it's filmed, and it gives that nod to the 30s and 40s film noir films and those crime dramas like it
was so Mickey Spillane too. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Yeah,
definitely.
But then on the other side you also have the comic book aesthetic about it with the characters, like the
so
characters.
You're saying they didn't superimpose the acting film onto it?
They did in front of a green screen, so there's no sets.
There's no sets. This is okay. I was wondering how they did that.
Everything gets put in post-production.
It's so cool. I just love the shit out of this. I wish the sequel was worthy. It just wasn't.
So what they would do with the filming of this is like, let's sit there and say there's a staircase, and let's sit there and say that there's a chair. So basically, what there'll be like a 3D staircase that they would be able to walk up situation, but it'll all be green, and then the chair would be green. So when they sat down, then what they would do is then they would put the scene in, and that would give it that.
Because I just like the car scenes. That they're not in a car. I get that, obviously, but it's so cartoonish. While they're all in the car going like this, the car's a cartoon, literally. I get such a kick. I just love this movie. I just think it's great.
I think it also gives a nod to Roger Rabbit as well, with the whole,
absolutely,
where everything's kind of drawn in afterwards. And I had to say, it must not have been an easy movie to act in. If you're acting against nothing.
Yeah.
Situation.
Brittany Murphy scenes. I guess so. there was no, I mean, was there no physical going on with the scenes? I mean, weren't they reading to each other at least? I
Well,
mean,
yeah, I mean the actors were together, but but at the
I feel
same
like
time,
they're at sometimes.
but like when Jessica, like the pole would be there for
Right,
Jessica to dance around, but the set behind her wouldn't be there.
right.
They'd be in a
That's
green
true.
box situation.
I loved how they made the blood look white. They didn't show red, but they only showed red sometimes. If you notice, they only showed it like if it splashed up under your face. But every time they like cut a hand off or like the head or what is it, the little ninja girl there that he's carving everybody up like a Christmas turkey. But I mean, it was just so well done. It was a very intriguing movie.
I mean, the sad thing about this is that Jack Snyder would use the same thing on his Soccer Punch movie, the same kind of
What do you mean use?
technique.
Like he filmed it the same way is what
Yeah.
he's talking about. Because if you see
What
Sucker
film?
Punch,
Soccer Punch.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, you're not missing much, but yeah, but
the
it's
first
it's
like
a Zack
15
Snyder
minutes are
film.
great, and then it just
Kinda
nosedives
crashes
after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a Zack Snyder film. What more do you expect?
There's a lot.
Man,
There's
Zack
just,
Snyder
I think
fans are gonna
everybody
hate
with a
us.
phone is making a film lately because Tubi, I go, oh, this looks good. And then I can't do it. Then I put something on. Oh, I can tell in 3 minutes if I can do a movie or not. I got it down. It's like, no, can't do it. I can tell in the first 3 minutes, but I can't take it. I can't. I mean, everybody's got a movie out now.
I have to sit there and say that I forgot that Brittany Murphy was in this movie.
So did I. I totally
And when I
forgot
saw
about
her, it's really sad that
it is. It's heartbreaking, actually.
She was really good in this.
She really was good
She
at
was
this.
really young too when she passed away, and it wasn't too long after this either.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after this at all.
She died
That
from
poor girl.
They think she died from black mold or something, didn't they?
Well, they think so, but I think they kept. I think her mother kept medicating her with all kinds of bullshit.
But then her husband died like a year later with the same thing.
Not much longer after her. Not even a year, I don't think.
But it has a good. I mean, I like also that it has a good ensemble of characters, but there's no. It's one of those rare movies that you have all these great actors appearing, but no actors taking away from anyone else.
No, not at all.
No
Not
stories overshadowing another story. I can't.
Well,
I can't
always
think about my
wanted to
favorite
see it.
story in this.
I wanted to see more of a tie-in at the end, but they all are in the bar together because Bruce Willis is in there. They didn't show oh gosh, what's his name? Dwight in the bar when Bruce Willis and Mickey Rourke are in the bar. You don't see him, but you see them. And Jessica Alba's doing her thing, her dance and stuff. I don't know how they did this. I just wish they would make a Batman. I wish they would make more movies like this. I love this shit. Yeah. I don't care if it's misogynistic. I loved it.
Well, I mean, I didn't find it misogynistic at all because I have to say
Dames, broads. No, I know.
But they're called dames and broads, but at the same time, the dames and broads are the ones that are running the show. What
was it, Miho? She was the little Oriental girl that was like the ninja.
Because I mean, even Goldie dies for whatever reasons.
They don't really. I wish they'd elaborate. I mean, it's okay.
It was the frame to Mickey Rourke to bring him down. That character.
Well, he wasn't really in love with her. I guess she took pity on him, and guess she's a great lay.
Well, when you look like that, and anyone's gonna if you look like that and people have sex with you, you're probably gonna fall in love with them because not many people are gonna fall in love with you, are you? So.
Well, I don't know. He might have been well endowed. You never know.
Well, that's 20 minutes of 24-hour day, but so you don't really have too much of what Goldie is. So it's almost like his idea of what Goldie is. I mean, she was a prostitute at the end of the day. So
right, he didn't know she was a prostitute though.
No, but I mean,
he
has sex and he's in love with her, so he goes on this. I need to revenge her killer. But
what was his relationship with Jessica Alba? I know him and Bruce Willis both knew her.
I think she's just someone who just at the bar.
And so they just she was just a nice girl.
Well, it's a bit like Brittany Murphy. I mean, they probably all knew who she was as well, her character, they because they all frequented the same bar, so and they were all, but because if you look at it, I mean, he says something about her, but he doesn't spend any time with her or have any moments with her. She's just dancing on the bar when he shows up there. But even like Goldie's sister, when she pops in, I mean, she's a strong character in her own right.
Right.
She's not taking any prisoners either. So
why did she try to shoot him? She thought that he killed her sister.
She thought that she believed. She believed what the story was, that basically that he killed his, that he killed her sister. Because that's the police show up and that the police are searching for him because he killed Goldie, though he was set. So it was all set up to arrest him and take him under for whatever reason. So
loved it though.
But yeah, I mean, I did like the whole comic book aesthetic about it as well, with the comic book kind of characters with it.
That's when I liked The Walking Dead, is when they kept their comic book kind of aesthetic. After Negan appears, and it just goes right out the fucking window. I don't know what happened.
Well, it became the Negan show, didn't it? And he only appeared like in 2 of the comic books.
Season 6. Yeah, well, he's in there for like, I could kick myself for not keeping those comic books, but he's in them. But he disappears and he doesn't die, or he just goes away. They drag it out instead of following the comics. They should have followed the. I just after season.
Well, I mean, Rick's hand was supposed to be chopped off at one point, wasn't it? So
yeah. I gave up after season 7. Just I liked the comic book stuff, and then you just gotta, and then you bring in the diversity and the inclusion. Who is inclusive in the apocalypse? You just want to stay alive, but that's what I really love that comic. That's probably why I like this so much, because it is just in its rawest form. It was, you get vested in the characters. I didn't even get up to pee, I really enjoyed it. I wish the second one was good, because it just doesn't have that pull with the characters either. The second one.
I don't know. I mean, there's some kind of weird disconnect. I'm not quite sure.
It could be also the amount of time, because it's
been a while.
Nearly a decade in between the 2 movies.
True.
Normally this kind of sequel, you get a sequel in like a year or 2.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
Yeah, but that makes it even worse, because that means that there should have been. They had enough time to sit there and do a decent story
and get decent actors.
They didn't have to spit one out like a year later. So I mean, something doesn't work. I mean, it had a good cast. I mean, Rosario and Mickey Rourke return, and Jessica Alba returns, and Jamie King returns, and Powers Booth returns. But the rest of the cast, Josh Brolin, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ava Green, Ray Liotta, Christopher Lloyd. I mean, it had
Ray Liotta was in it.
I mean, Lady Gaga's in it. I mean, probably not.
I like her. I like her, but
she's fine. But I'm not saying that movie. That's probably up there with Machete.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it wasn't her shining moment. It had that Madonna feel to it. We're putting a mute.
Oh my God! Don't get me going on Madonna. I just wish that woman would just age gracefully.
But
you're dead, lie down.
But I think overall, I think Sin City works on a lot of multiple levels and stuff like that. And I think, as I said before, it's really weird to see an anthology film like that where one story is not greater than another.
No, and you're right. They really, one didn't outshine the other, did they? In that, it's just it's just a great storytelling. It just really is. I wish somebody could take the ball and run with that and make another good one like that. God, I miss that stuff.
Are you talking more about the filmmaking or about the storytelling style when you say that?
Both.
I mean, I don't know. What's that?
What were your thoughts? What do you think of Sin City?
I just miss the caliber of the story. That's all. They don't do that stuff anymore. That's what I'm saying. They just don't. It's been 20 years.
Well, this comes on the back end of Pulp Fiction. It's kind of
it's very pulpy. It's very.
I mean, this might be the very end of that style too. I really like the film a lot. I'm in the minority that I actually don't like the the look of the film. I don't feel it works. I've never been a big fan of doing stuff like against a blue screen or a green screen and doing
Right.
the whole thing there. I like, I like building sets. I like seeing sets
Right.
created and built. So to me, this, I don't know, if you're gonna
That
do this
just
kind of thing,
that takes away from it from you. You want
storytelling
to see
wise, the
more
movie's
physical locality.
yeah, storytelling wise, the film is excellent. I can see why they did why I can see how it fits in here. So I can forgive it here.
Right.
I can forgive the look of the film here. I'm in the minority as far as like wanting to see more movies made like this because I don't like how artificial it looks.
That's why I liked it, though. I think is because I know it's artificial and it's comic booky. You know.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
other films that have tried this style haven't succeeded at all.
No, they haven't.
well, those films didn't have Robert Rodriguez,
Hmm.
who's an
Well,
excellent filmmaker. Even
let's
Good
go-
point.
though
I
he's
mean, this.
another one that lately
Mhm.
his films haven't been that good lately, but he's one of the greatest filmmakers ever. So if someone's going to do
Wow.
this kind of thing, it should be one of the greatest of all time attempting it.
Well,
Right.
saying that, they still kind of continue this style. I mean, aren't most of the Marvel Avenger movies this?
Which
They're kind of, but
Well,
not. They
there's
don't
no
look like.
sets. There's no sets. They're all playing against green screens, aren't they?
Oh well, yeah, that's true. I didn't really think of it that way, but
Well, I guess
yeah.
so they actually use this technology and moved it forward. I mean, what I quite like about this, which you don't see with other green screen films after this, is that everything's crisp and clear looking. Where normally what you get is you kind of get this kind of fuzzy, moving thing that happens that you can't make out what the hell's going on
Oh,
sometimes.
is this what a cheaper way to make that film, or was this
Yeah.
the intention of the director?
I think
Well,
this is the intention of the director to give it that this. If you look at the Sin City comic books,
Right.
they're done in this black and white and gray style,
Right.
and it looks like they actually lifted the comic book.
That's true. That's true. It does look like a comic book. It definitely
So
does.
so I think that's the reason why they did this for this, and I think for me this works on it. That's why I said that if they were going to never do something like this again, if they're going to do this black and white style again, I would love to see a Batman like the last Batman film, the Batman with Robert
Right.
Pattinson.
This is gonna
That would
sound
actually
this is gonna
work
sound
using this
ignorant.
style, but I don't think he can use this with every style. I don't think he can do this with just any old
Well,
film.
this is going to be an ignorant question. Probably Joe would know, but is there a difference between blue and green screen?
as
Blue
someone who
screen-
hasn't really used them a lot, I would not be able to tell you like the intricacies of it. There is a difference in the look. I've shot stuff on green screen. I never liked the way it looks though. I've never have. I couldn't tell you this. I don't know. Maybe Keith might know better than I do.
I was just wondering because you guys are saying, well, blue screen here, green screen there.
blue screen was used in
the 40s and stuff.
Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins. was blue
Oh,
screen.
okay. I get. Okay.
The Parent Trap was blue screen, bits and pieces of that, or
Okay, I
and
get you.
and then Hitchcock didn't use blue screen; he used a yellow screen, which is what you get with the birds.
Oh, okay. So it does give a different look, though.
Yeah. And I think the reason why Sin City with the green screen works very well because I think it's the black and white. I think if it was this
Right.
was done in color, I'm not sure you would have the same effect.
It does look like a comic. That's why I liked it so much, though. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
it works for me. But Joe's probably more hands-on, likes to build
I mean,
sets.
it's with me. It's just an aesthetic choice. I don't that I for this movie
Right.
it works.
Yeah.
For a lot of other movies that tried this, like
I'm just
the
trying to figure out
aforementioned
how.
Sucker Punch.
Well, I mean, you got Gotham City. I mean, they make that look dark, and that works.
For
Yeah,
Ba-
but
for a
that's not- but
Batman
Gotham
movie,
City-
you guys
Gotham
are right.
City's
I think
done
for a
on the
Batman
set.
movie, this could be excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I
They
think
did try this on-
if they did like the Batman with Robert Pattinson, they filmed it in
Right.
this style. I think that would have worked for that. I can't see it working for. I mean, it's like Soccer Punch doesn't work. 300 there are times where there is some kind of ropey CGI stuff going on in that and he has this artificial kind of feel to it. They also use it in Oh, the superhero Justice League
Yeah.
does this again and again. You kind of it doesn't really work sometimes, that whole CGI green screen movie effect.
Yeah.
So I think for me in this film, that's what I like about this film. I think it works for this film, and I think because the style and the comic book of the film and the comic book that it's based on, that it works for here. It's very rare that I have seen it work for anything else, though.
Right.
Oof.
I
But
just think it's good
I think it's
storytelling.
because of the black and white. I think it's the black and white that sells it. It gives it that
I just
full.
think it's one of Bruce Willis's, one of you guys said it, one of his best,
Performances.
yeah.
It's
It
kind of
just
sad
was.
though, because you kind of watch this and look at Bruce Willis, and I watched Die Hard because it's a Christmas movie, but I watched Die Hard, and and then you read the stories of what's happened to him. It's kind of sad.
It's heartbreaking. It is absolutely soul sucking to see him like that. It just breaks my heart. I mean, you just think of Bruce Willis, vital, virile, badass, you know?
But when you find out that he was like showing up on, the last 6 years, he was showing up on film sets and he couldn't remember his lines and they had to feed him his lines ahead of time and he couldn't, and then sometimes the director would be yelling and screaming at him, not
Oh, I
realize.
didn't know that. I don't want
There's some like really sad stories that are going around about him now. So
That's
Yeah, and
sad.
then
It really
the
is.
last couple movies, you could visibly see an earpiece in his ear because
Really.
they were feeding him his lines through an earpiece.
they don't say what he's got though. Is it Alzheimer's?
Aphasia.
Alzheimer. He's got dementia. Dementia.
Aphasia.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, it's dementia.
But
What a
I
horrible thing to do to a person, especially someone that it's sort of like being blind and not being able to read,
mm.
It just
But I think but I can't fault anyone in this film at all as far as the actors. I think it's well cast as well.
they did a good job. Brittany Murphy, I'm always pleasantly surprised to see her pop up. I forgot she was in this. I haven't watched it in many years.
God, she had those big eyes too, those big
Big
expressive
brown eyes. She was this real sweetie, I bet.
Mm. And just think, it all started with Clueless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure did.
And I'm trying to think what else. There's the Tarantino involvement in this.
Yeah, there was. I can't remember what it was.
What
now.
did he do? What did he direct? Did he direct like the Josh Hartnett bit?
Let me see, which part was it that he directed? Hang on. Quentin Tarantino directed. Oh boy, there's so much here.
I'm just glad he didn't get a part in it. So, I mean, I love Quentin Tarantino, but I have to say, every time he shows up in a film, it kind of takes you out of the movie.
I don't know. I love him in what's it? Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, and that's Robert Rodriguez. He directed that.
Yeah, I just think it's funny with Selma Hayek just freaking got that tequila and she's dumping it through her shoe on QT's freaking mouth.
Quentin Tarantino's. He's got a foot. What's his foot fetish, isn't it?
She's got that heel in his mouth and he's drinking all that. It was just so funny. That is like one of my favorite scenes of any movie ever is when she comes out with that fucking steak. Just like, what the fuck?
And you know that when she's shoving her foot in his face, that he's really getting off on it. In real life.
Well, have you seen her? I mean, my God, there's nothing wrong with her in that movie. Holy shit!
It's been like Mickey Rourke having sex with Lisa Bonet, and same equivalent, same level.
Well,
I forgot about that too. Oh
she
no!
She just got nominated for a Razzie for the new Magic Mike movie.
Lisa Bonet?
No, Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's in the new Magic Mike movie. Apparently, she's terrible in it. She was nominated for Worst Actress.
I've never seen. I saw the first one. The first one was fun. Second one was kind of fun. I just can't do the third one.
Well,
it's like my beat cake.
It's like hangover movies. It's like you got to stop now.
I know, please, for the love of God, no, it's holy. Don't make another hangover movie. It's like no.
Like, how many times do these people go away with each other? Come on.
Not natural.
Imagine Mike is like, it's like, okay, I can understand this. Like, you're on this rise, you're a male stripper, fine. And at the end, you're disillusioned by it. So how many times do you have to come back and be disillusioned by you being a male stripper? Come on.
Not without Matthew McConaughey. Now, when he was stripping in the first Magic Mike, that really melted my butter just a little bit. I have to admit, it's like, damn.
Well, the thing is because they keep bringing back the same cast. The thing is, it's a bit like that friend that has like a personal problem, and like the first time that you hear it, you're okay with it. The second time you hear it, by the third time, it's like you just need to freaking get over it. But it's kind of like, because the same characters are having the same kind of life crisis in every movie. Like, okay. The first time he's like, oh yeah, okay, I understand. I hope they get over it. And then by the end of the movie, they come to some form of it. And then they come back and they're disillusioned again. It's like, oh, come on. Then they come back and they're disillusioned again. It's like, okay, got it. Being a male stripper's hard.
Those are a lot of fun, though. We got them in Dallas. I've never had more fun, and I go to a male stripper bar that's a gay male stripper bar, because that's just full out entertainment.
Well, I have to they're male strippers against female strippers. The male strippers are always well choreographed.
Yeah.
It's always a show that's put together. It's all choreographed, isn't it? Where
they
never
put some time into it.
But the female one, they never really do a female choreographed.
They just get up there and start slathering.
Yeah. Not since once Burlesque guy, that was it. It was just a free for all for women.
Ravine, stop.
No, it's true. It's just like, it's like, it's weird. Like male strippers is like it's all choreographed and everything has its place and everything, and they everything's all laid out. Where female strippers is like, they get hired at a bar and then they do their 15, 20 minutes or whatever they have to do. But it's not choreographed. They just have to they're on their own. No one's teaching them. They have to, it's sink or swim. It's like you do what you want to do. So I'm just saying
that's pretty much what it is.
And the male stripper shows, they normally get like choreographers from Broadway to do them. It's like, here you go.
I'm so glad all the people I love don't do that no more.
If you can, it's good, nice work if you can get it. You can make good money on it. So
10 grand for a friggin' hour. Just guys will do anything for tits. I swear. I never realized. I mean, women, seriously, you can solve all the world problems today. Just everybody just not show their boobs ever again.
I mean, but to be honest, though, one thing I can say is that for female strippers, it's a lot safer for them than it is for male strippers. Male strippers, I mean, for God's sakes, those women are fucking horrible.
Women are, especially anything over 50, they go fucking nuts. Seriously nuts. We brought all of our mothers. When I was like 25, we took all of our mothers to a strip show. Oh my God.
I'll leave this in this. I have a friend who used to be a male stripper back in the day. And he had so many scratches because women have long fingernails, and when they're tipping you, they're scratching you. There's like having little paper cuts all around your waist.
All around your wiener.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to say, when you compare the two, I mean, women strippers are, they don't, you're not allowed to touch them, and so they do the show of all that sort of stuff. But male strippers is like they're being touched and everything. It's just like
y'all deserve to be viewed that way as chattel.
You just don't know what it's like to be justified.
Show me your teeth.
Objectified. A sex object. It's horrible. You need to accept me like a human being just because I'm a man.
Okay, Joe, what are we doing?
I'm trying to think if there's any, because I could not find I couldn't find what segment Tarantino directed.
I couldn't find it either. I had a couple articles pulled up, but I'm not seeing it.
I think he did the Josh Hartnett in the beginning one, because I don't know that for sure, but that's the only thing that seems slightly different from everything else in the movie.
Okay, but okay, the dickless freak, when he turns orange. Why did he turn orange? It's because his father gave all that stuff to get him to. He wanted a legacy, so he shot his son's dick off. So he got him to do all this science or whatever, so he'd grow his appendage back, but it turned him orange.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's like, but he smelled as
They don't
well.
say why he smells, but yeah, I could
What?
just smell him because when he's pounding his head in, and I bet you that stinks real bad.
Well, apparently he smelled really bad, but I think it's whatever chemicals they were shooting him into. It turned he had some kind of weird. He had like a Madonna allergic reaction to the plastic surgery.
Have you seen those things with the faces stretched?
Yeah, a bit like Catherine Hellman in Brazil.
So I guess I guess we should just go on to rate Sin City. Starting with you, Vicky.
I'm always going to give this a 5. I love this movie for obvious reasons.
And how about you, Keith?
I'm going to give it a 5. I mean, for one of a kind film, I think it works on all levels.
Yeah.
I mean, do I want to, would I want to see another one? Oh, I saw another one and no. What's enough?
If you count Sucker Punch, you've seen 2 other ones.
Yeah, or any Marvel adventure movie. So,
for myself, I'm going to give it 4. I don't hate it.
It just doesn't work for you in the filming.
Yeah. Like I said, I like everything about it except for the look of the film. I just cannot get over how artificial it looks, and I realized that was the director's choice. So yeah, I'm not gonna knock them for making the movie they wanted. Well,
Right.
2 directors, 3 if we count Quentin.
3, yeah.
I'm not gonna knock their choice.
They had a vision.
Yeah, they had a vision. I mean, for this kind of movie, it works, but I just kept getting pulled out of the movie by it, and I guess 5 stars for me would be total immersion.
Right.
I just couldn't get over the fact that I know I'm not getting fully immersed because of the look of the film.
Well, there's no right or wrong answer. You know that.
What's that?
I said there's no right or wrong answers here.
But that being said, though, storytelling wise, it's excellent. Performances, I like a lot of the performances in it. The movie is fun. It's a fun little ride. So I'm absolutely okay with that. But yeah, solid 4 for me. Not obviously, Tarantino. Robert Rodriguez has made better movies, so I would feel weird giving this a 5.
Right.
But also, while I didn't enjoy it as much as like Desperado or any of those movies, so solid 4. It's a very good. So I guess that brings us to the second film, which is going to be Southbound from 2015. Southbound is a 2015 American horror anthology film directed by Radio Silence, Roxanne Benjamin, David Bruckner, and Patrick Horvath. Produced by Brad Miska and Roxanne Benjamin, the film premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 16th, 2015. It was given a limited theatrical release in the United States on February 5th, 2016. The film was included on numerous best horror films of 2016 lists, including those by Rolling Stone, BuzzFeed, and Thrillist. And we're going to be cutting to the trailer for Southbound, and we'll be right back.
You want to wear the black, I know.
Of course I want to wear the black.
911, what's your emergency?
I just hit a woman with my car. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Sir, I'm sorry. Sir, you're breaking up.
I said I'm in the middle of nowhere!
We still have this one last weekend with our little girl.
Well, this next one is for all you lost souls. All you sinners racing down that long road to redemption, but heading straight into that pit of darkness up ahead. We're all on the same endless highway.
Of course we get a flat.
Guys, car. Why don't you come to our place?
This place feels like a bad acid trip.
Guys, we have got to go.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, they're gonna try to stop you, but you gotta keep moving.
Help! I need some help! I don't deserve this.
What do you want?
We're all just trying to find our way home. That's life, right?
And welcome back to Literary License Podcast. And we are discussing Southbound from 2015. Starting with you, Keith. What are your thoughts on Southbound?
I was pleasantly surprised. I was one of those when we were constructing anthology films. I thought, okay, well, let's find some things that I have never seen before, and just
We covered this years ago. You don't remember Southbound when we were doing the Shudder podcast?
no.
We
I know
picked this
you-
one a
you know,
long time ago.
When we were doing the Shutter podcast, you were watching films, and I was watching other.
Yeah, I
films.
watched this one. That's right. Okay, that's right.
So
I
I
watched.
actually, so this is the first time I've seen it.
Oh, I
and-
thought you watched it. Okay.
No, I really liked it a lot.
I
was
like it a lot too.
I was pleasantly surprised,
pleasantly
and what I
surprised
was
too.
really shocked is that, like, Radio Silence went on to do Ready or Not and
Right.
the Scream films and
Right.
the other but they're all like different. Each story is a different director, but it's so seamless. You wouldn't know. I thought when I was watching it, I thought it was one director for the whole.
How it
film.
all hooks up together.
But they're all different directors for each story, and I think it works. And I
And it's
I
like
like
good for gorehounds too. It's gory. It's got a
That's
good
some
story. I like the monsters. I don't know. What are they? Are they like sentinel
I thought they were like
entities?
angel. I thought they were kind
Demonic?
of. I thought they were kind of angels.
Well, they're pretty avenging if that's what they are.
Well, angels are. I mean, the Bible are avenging angels
But-
anyway.
But I think the whole theme that runs through this movie is just karma is a bitch because
Mhm.
it go get you, kind of.
Mhm.
Don't you think?
And I like the wraparound. I like how it goes back to the beginning. I like the way that worked. I think that worked really successful. Sometimes it can feel a bit forced, but I think it works here actually for me.
What do you
And-
guys think about the 1950s scenario and the crazy people that were eating the yucky meatloaf? I wouldn't have ate that meatloaf, by the way. That those
Mhm.
girls had stopped there. That was, and the twins. That was just like one of my biggest nightmares is waking up to a scenario like that. And you're stuck in the 50s with all of these psychos, you know, with all of their psycho stuff and their 50s stuff and just fucking brilliantly weird, you know?
And I quite like what I quite liked about it is that the vegan could hear stuff, but the other girls couldn't.
But
And then
because they ate the meat, that's why.
Well, no, this is before the meet. Before they went to dinner, they're in the bedroom, and then they go. She goes, "Did you hear that? I don't hear anything. You're being stupid." And they're saying
That's
that.
true.
And
That's
then when they
true.
go eat the meat, and of course they get sick. But then what I also liked is like, she gets away and she's running, and then she gets hit by the car, and that goes into the
Oh
next.
yeah. God, that was
And-
brutal. That was so fucking brutal, that whole thing. And then he tries to massage her heart with the instructions on the phone, and he sticks his arm up her chest cavity. It's just like, oh my God. It was excellent.
and then that ends, and then you see the car going by, and then you realize that the woman on the phone who's doing the 911 call, and then that
Yes.
goes, and I love the way that they skewed from one story to the other, and it was just seamless. And I know that was very, very clever, and that's why I found it shocking that it was different directors, because they
I
all
didn't
had
know it was
they
different
all had the
directors.
same
I
look
didn't
and all
think
the same feel all the way through it, which was quite a phenomenal thing to do, to be able to do that.
they did a good job tying it in, because I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's like Tales of Halloween a couple of months back, where that was multiple different directors all doing a story that all wraps together. I think this one actually ties it together a lot better.
Yeah.
Not that Tales of Halloween was a bad film; it's a very good film,
I like
but
that.
it just wasn't. It like the wraparound didn't tie everything together as well.
No, there was a bit of forcedness with the wraparound.
There was what?
I said there was a bit of forcedness. Plus, Tales from Halloween. I did like Tales of Halloween, but I think there's too many segments as well.
Well, that was something else that was harming it a little bit. I think we discussed that back then.
Yeah.
What, Tales of Halloween?
Yeah, too many segments. I loved them, but by the end of it, you kind of got a little fatigued from it. Where this, I mean, it's like it ended in a great way, but at the same time, like, I could have seen more, but I'm glad that it ended
Right.
as it did, and to have a largely unknown cast, they were all fantastic. I mean, I can't see any.
Joe, you recognized one of the actors, didn't you say?
Maria Olsen is actually a close friend of mine. She's the woman who gets off the payphone and walks into the bar at the beginning of that
Oh,
segment.
really?
Yeah, we made a few films together. She's in my short film, The Perfect Candidate. She plays Joe Estevez's wife. So, but yeah, she's awesome. I absolutely adore her. I'll text her after we're off the air here and be like, hey, I just saw you in Southbound.
She was in Lords of Salem, wasn't she?
She's in Lords of Salem.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah,
You guys got a good eye. I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
she's in a lot of stuff.
Because I recognize it because my friend Kim looks a lot like her. So my friend Kim here. So I mean, the one I work with. So I thought, when we were watching, I go, God, that looks like Kim from work. So,
but yeah, she's awesome. I'll text her when we're off the air here and tell her yeah, I just checked her out in this. But yeah, I like Vicky, the girl getting hit by the car, and then the guy having
ER.
the guy having basically to take her to the ER. That is just that segment is just brutal.
It's horrendously brutal. You gotta love it if you're a girl. It's like, golly, just the thought that he stuck his arm up her chest cavity to do heart massage. I was just like freaking sinking in my. I was like crawling under the coffee table. It's like, please make it stop. Don't do no more.
But this movie kind of brings us back to what we were discussing last month with Tales from the Crypt. It's this kind of moralistic EC Comics thing where I mean, even where the whole thing is about karmic retribution. It's about being a good person or bad things will happen to you.
Yeah, basically. And
kind
they couldn't leave town either, because this thing was guarding the town. You couldn't leave. I mean, no matter what.
Oh, another thing that's quite interesting, though, is that because if you look at the timing of the movie, and every story kind of flows from there, and then, of course, we wrap back around to the beginning of the movie. But I think the reason why it works is because if you notice, the street sign doesn't have a number on the road.
It doesn't.
So when they're in like this weird purgatory repeat cycle thing going around, and it goes round and round and round. So these characters are going through the same thing like a purgatory, and a little bit like Tales from the Crypt, where they're kind of like reliving their stories as
What
they
did
enter
the
the crypt.
parents do? The ones that had the house, like the Airbnb. I still haven't been able to figure out what did they do wrong.
Well, I didn't quite figure it out because because they said the wife wasn't innocent, but it's like an innocent of what?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what they did wrong.
Yeah. So I wasn't quite sure. And then they said the daughter wasn't innocent. So, but I'm not, but, but it's one of those things where they whisper what the husband's secret is. And she's like shocked, but they never tell you what the secret is.
Well, basically, they just suffer the same fate. They're in a loop. That's just it keeps going on and perpetuating. So they're just stuck in this. They're going to die and continually.
Well, see, I, I think this is the one flaw in the movie is that so basically the husband's guilty of something, the other two are innocent, and then, of
Right.
course these skeletal angels or demons come out of them, but it comes out of the husband as well. So at first I thought, well, maybe they come out of the good people when they get killed because they shouldn't be killed because they haven't done anything wrong. But then why does it come out of the husband? So what's the husband's secret? So that's the only thing that had difficult connecting because we don't know what the husband did. How bad is it? But whatever it did, it has something to do with the daughter, the girl in the picture, which we don't see that story.
Mhm.
So they're getting so obviously he either killed that guy's sister, the girl in the picture, or he had sex with her. So they're killing the husband. I'm not, but we don't know what that story is, and that's the only thing that kind of like because I think the mythos of the whole movie works. I think all the stories work in the mythos of this purgatory town. But the angels coming out of the mother and daughter at the end, or the skeletal angel
Right.
demons, that makes sense. But when it comes out of the husband, it kind of threw me a little bit because I'm like, oh, well, I'm not quite sure now. It's
Yeah,
like,
that
so
one kind
in
of,
this
I
town
couldn't
is just
figure
what
out.
comes out of you because those angel things go on. They get revenge, don't they? Because
Right.
they kill the guy, and then in the beginning of the movie, the guy goes into the hotel room, and then we kind of get where he's going from room to room, and he's chasing after the girl that was in the picture.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But it's not the guy, it's not the husband who was killed, it's him. So that's why it's a kind of a weird kind of. I probably need to see it
It was
again.
weird.
Maybe I'll get it
That
on a
was just
review.
I didn't hear you, Keith.
I said maybe if I watch it on a second time, maybe I'll get a bit more clarification. But it didn't make. I was a bit lost a little bit.
Same here. There were some things that weren't the clearest, but
what did Daryl? Okay, did you catch this? I was going to ask you guys in the movie. Did they never do say what Daryl does to Catherine? Did he sexually assault her?
Or he murdered
The
her.
accident, the one the gross one, the accident.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all friendly and stuff at first.
I don't think.
But he has sinister intentions when he picks her up.
Well, he kills her first, doesn't he? I mean, he runs over her and then puts her in the car.
Yeah. Then he appears
Yeah.
to be friendly and helpful at first, and he has sinister intentions.
Well, while he's talking to them on the phone, and basically it's like, and this is where you get kind of this weird purgatory thing because it's like, don't go out in the desert because you won't come back.
Right.
You can't leave the town, so only the town can let you go. So they actually let Lucas go at the end, don't they?
Right.
And they replace his car with the same car, and they have his clothes there. So it's almost like he's on this weird twilight. It's kind of reminds me of a big Twilight Zone.
But yes, exactly. Yeah, it could be even Outer Limits. I mean, but you're not going anywhere. You're stuck there, and it looks like that you're going to repeat this horrendous cycle. Is what it appears to me. I was just wondering because when he hits her with the car, it just seemed like he had some other intentions too. And he was an asshole. Period.
Yeah.
But everybody gets theirs, don't they?
Well, in that hotel room, I mean, the guy at the beginning of the film, his the driver gets killed, of course, by the
Right.
creature. And
Right.
then he goes in the hotel room, and then he's chasing after his daughter, but he's trying to save his daughter Catherine, or his
Right.
daughter. And he's caught in that loop where he can't reach her and save her, so he's kind of caught in this halfway hell, quite tormented, and so he's living with regret.
I guess
But
that's what
so whatever
purgatory
happened
is.
for him to save her has something to do with the husband of the last story. So, but
Right.
she must be dead. So, because if he's seeing her, I'm assuming that she's dead.
Probably.
So he's probably, sexy.
So, I mean, there was a few times that I guess that may be my only issue with movies. They did keep it all together, but there was a little continuity issue here and there. It just left me questioning, But I guess maybe that's what the directors had in mind when they did it.
Well, I mean, each story is written by someone else as well.
Right.
Which, again, I have to applaud, because you wouldn't know that was written by different people. Because even the dialogue that they're saying, and all the actors that are in the different segments are all talking like they've been written by the same person.
Right.
So I have to, my hat's got to go off to that as well.
No, it was well done.
I thought it was one director and one screenwriter through the whole thing. I
thought it was one director too. I didn't know it was 3 directors till you just said something, and I've watched this before, so.
Yeah, it's a minor miracle that this film is as good as it is, with how many cooks are
too many cooks in the kitchen ruin the soup.
I mean, not in this case. In this case, it works.
Works for me. I liked it quite a bit.
I think it's
I love the monsters. They were scary. I mean, they're menacing. You couldn't see the strings.
Again, I can't think of a weak segment in this, because even the segments that are odd, I liked.
My favorite part of this was when they were eating the meatloaf, and then they were in the 50s place with the 2 weird-ass twins. That was just seeing those 2 boys. Time to get out. That's all I would have had to see with those 2 twins. That's it. Out of here.
I guess, yeah. What story? Is there any story that didn't work for you guys? I mean, I felt they were all solid.
They're all solid and interwoven. Freaky ass shit.
Solid for me.
Freaky.
I probably will go out and buy a copy of this now.
Same here. This is gonna be one that I'm proudly gonna have on the shelf at some point.
All roads lead to Rome.
So I guess that brings us to the end of the Literary License podcast for this week. I'm going to throw it back to Keith, who's going to tell you what's coming up in the all the upcoming weeks. Go ahead and take it away, Keith.
Okay, well, we will be continuing Doctor Who, which will be covering the Daleks' Master Plan in the Ark. That will be coming out next week. And of course, we'll go back to our books of screen. We'll be doing The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Frank Baum, which was written in 1900s, and The Wizard of Oz 1939 film. And Batman the Animated Series will be continuing with The Avatar, House and Garden, The Terrible Trio, and Harlequinade. And Dark Families will be continuing our Oz series with Return to Oz and Oz the Great and Powerful. And Anthologies will come back to some classic TV turned into motion pictures with The Twilight Zone, the movie from 1983, and Night Gallery from 1969, which will have a special segment with Steven Spielberg in one of his directorial debuts. Then next week, of course, will be Wizard of Oz. So it's good night for myself. Good night, Joe.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Vix.
Good night, guys.
And I'll see you next week for the Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
But we can't say what we've seen, and we're not.